This guy manages to keep his concentration up enough to take a selfie and keep flying on his aquatic hoverboard thing. He doesn't even look embarrassed to be holding a selfie stick, which of course you should be. Fox Sports' Kelly Nash captured the horrifying moment just before a baseball travelling at full pelt whizzed past her head. The reporter was at the Boston Red Sox batting practice and decided to catch a quick selfie. She almost caught a bit more than that. Unless you're trained as well as I hope this guy is, please don't ever try to take a selfie whilst fondling a lion's mouth. Actually, just don't fondle a lion's mouth. Camels are sneaky. There, I said it. I didn't want to have to say it, but I did. Never turn your back on a camel, especially one that looks hungry. Usually the ships of the desert just spit at unsuspecting tourists, but this sadistic fellow decided to have a bit of a nibble instead. Undoubtedly the best thing to do when smoke starts filling the cabin of the plane you're travelling on is to get your phone out and snap a selfie. I mean, it is in the safety briefing. Snap a selfie, affix your own mask before helping others to take their selfies. This is Lee Thompson, founder of an adventure travel company who, instead of sitting behind a desk, likes to put his money where his mouth is and snap selfies in a variety of terrifying locations. Rather him than me. Bear selfies are a bit of a craze in the US. Bears as in the animals, not so much the bear scene, but of course selfies are probably quite popular in that as well. Anyway, so much of a problem with bears is that the US Forestry Service has had to issue guidance to people to leave the animals alone. These bears look like ready to do more than just steal a couple of picnic baskets. Just don't take photos of them. Maybe just leave? I'm not totally sure, but I don't think taking a selfie is the safest thing to do when flying a glider. This guy's certainly taking his life in his own hands, but at least he's having a good time. I suppose that's the main thing, isn't it? This is Yaroslav Saheda, and he likes to climb giant buildings without using any safety equipment. Everyone's got to have a hobby. And then when he gets to the top, he takes selfies. I mean, yeah, everyone's got to have a hobby, but I don't want this one. If you're going to go cliff diving, it's probably a good idea to look where you're going, but this daredevil decided not to, and I can only hope that she made it to the water safely. An exotic holiday is all well and good, and it's important to get some fantastic photos for the folks back home, but surely you want to be paying more attention to that murky swamp water that you can't see into. You know, just in case of alligators. While this guy doesn't seem to be in much danger from the fire, which is spreading behind him, he does look like he's wearing a firefighter's uniform and therefore might be in danger of losing his job if his boss sees him acting like a prat while someone else's house is burning to the ground. You had one job. One job. Before being forcibly dragged to the ground by security men, please make sure that you put the right kind of filter on your Instagram post, because you know I like the blue ones but the pink ones don't work. Taking a selfie during a skydive either makes you incredibly brave or incredibly stupid. By the way, I'm no expert, but the person in the background seems to be in a bit of trouble. Sometimes it would be nice to just have a little bit of context, you know? A little bit of context. Without it, someone might think, for example, that this man is on a romantic holiday with his polar bear. I mean, I'm not going to spread rumours, but how do you romance a polar bear anyway? Give it Fox's mints? What is it about extreme sports nuts which makes them want to photograph themselves doing incredibly dangerous things? Don't they know that the more ridiculous things they do, the more people will photograph them? I don't know. Case in point is this woman, surrounded by a camera-toting audience and teetering on a slack line above a river, taking a quick selfie. Of course, maybe she just doesn't trust anyone else to take a good one, you know? I know what that's like, you're sort of going to let me take it, because, you know, they might not frame it right. This is Jared Frank. At the moment he was kicked in the face by a conductor aboard a moving train in Peru. That's what happens when you don't get a ticket, I suppose. Somehow Jared survived relatively unscathed and went on to make a small fortune from YouTube ad revenue. Naturally, his unfortunate accident went viral. There are a few people that do this for a living, but this particular Russian teenager, Kirill Oreshkin, takes it to a whole new level without any safety gear on at all. I mean, just look at how brave this guy is. I mean, brave or stupid, I suppose. Let's see how long he lives and then we'll decide. This passenger narrowly escaped when his flight crashed near Hawaii, but rather than just remembering the traumatic incident, he risked drowning to snap a photo on his mobile phone. Why not? I mean, you know, memories, they're better when you've got them on your phone. Xenia Ignatieva, a Russian teenager, was attempting to take a selfie on a railway bridge in St. Petersburg when she fell from the structure. She was electrocuted while trying to save herself by grabbing some cables and sadly died on the scene. It's worth pointing out that this photo is just for illustrative purposes. The girl in this photo is very much alive. Dubai's Princess Tower is the highest residential building in the world, and these two friends decided to grab a quick selfie after scaling its heights. Dubai is apparently a hotspot for selfie-mad free climbers as it boasts a number of poorly protected and massive towers. If you ever find yourself standing on train tracks, your first thought should never be, I think I'll just snap a hilarious selfie to send all of my Twitter followers. It should be, I should get off this train track before I get pulverised into human ragu. This woman takes photos of herself dangling from various structures all over Southeast Asia, and it's safe to say that her selfies are among the most terrifying around. Most people who look at them have mixed feelings, mostly a mixture of vertigo and the urge to shout, "Stop it! Don't do it! Oh God, stop!" In Southampton, UK, it's not safe to put up a crane, on the off chance that daredevil James Kingston climbs it and takes a photo of himself hanging from it by one hand. While I've got to give him kudos for his upper body strength, I wouldn't recommend anyone tries this because it's incredibly stupid. The running of the bulls is a terrifying concept in itself, but when you add this fool into the mix, then things take an incredibly dark turn. Focusing more on his camera than his own safety, and the safety of those around him, which is probably worse, this thrill seeker was later arrested. There's a famous selfie which does the rounds about a guy who snapped a photo just before he was swallowed whole by a furious great white shark. And that's a hoax, facilitated by some skilled photoshopping. This selfie, on the other hand, is very real. This member of the Danish Air Force might be a highly trained fighter pilot, but that doesn't mean he shouldn't keep an eye on where he's going. A couple of miscalculations and he could have flown right into that plane that he's escorting. If you're going to take a dangerous selfie, then make sure you're going to float off into the vast blackness of space if something goes wrong. And there's something about the possibility of running out of oxygen that makes selfies just that little bit more exciting. This is TV host George Kourounis taking a selfie in one of the most dangerous places on Earth, the crater of an active, currently erupting volcano. Quite what would possess anyone to take a selfie in such a terrifying location, I don't know, but it's certainly a once-in-a-lifetime experience, that's for sure. And he's probably got a really good profile picture on Facebook now. Sorted.